Baba Booey.
WestJet.
What is up? AP Test and Kanye West. WestJet 6'5", radiant Venezuelan trillionaire here, and today we're going to be going over one of the largest controversies in Supreme Court history, court packing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today, William G. Ross, professor of law and ethics, will be taking us through the perverseness of this practice, both back in 1937 and in the present day. What is court packing, you may ask? Well, in case you didn't know, an idea we thought was long discredited after FDR's attempt in 37 has made a comeback. That's right, Sleepy Joe has set up a commission to study the possibility of adding more Supreme Court justices, a response to the calls from Democrats to shake up the balance on the court. You thought this was a history channel? Nope, we making it to current events today. But why would Sleepy Joe do this now? Well, during the last election, court packing was a hot topic among Democrats, and now we've got congressional bills in the mix to add 4 justices. But hold on, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is holding off on this for now, opting for a formal study. That's a strategic move. Just when you thought things were getting spicy, there's more to talk about. Court packing doesn't require a constitutional amendment because there's no set number of justices in the Constitution. Congress can determine that number, which has ranged from 6 to 10 justices in the past, but it's been at 9 since 1837, except for a brief stint with 10 justices from 1863 to 1869. Advocates argue that adding more justices would restore balance and is needed, especially with potential constitutional challenges to democratic legislation on the horizon. They think they're like Thanos or something trying to restore order to the universe. Like, okay, bud, you're not that guy, pal. They claim it would unpack a court that's packed with right-leaning justices. But opponents raise some valid concerns. They argue that court packing could undermine judicial independence and mess with the separation of powers. It could lead to political manipulation of the court's decisions based on who's in power. This could, in turn, erode public support for the court, making people question whether it's driven by politics or constitutional principles. They also ask, where does this end? If Democrats add 4 justices now, what if Republicans gain power in 2024? Would they add more justices, creating a never-ending cycle? It's a valid question. That's not all. The effectiveness of the court is on the line too. Justices generally agree that 9 is the ideal number. It's big enough for diverse viewpoints and small enough for productive discussions. Adding more justices could dilute the quality of the court's work. Now, FDR's court packing in 37 had a particular context. He was facing potential overturning of key New Deal legislation. It's essential to understand that Roosevelt had a massive electoral mandate when he tried this, whereas Biden's win wasn't as overwhelming. And it's important to note that today's court isn't necessarily monolithically conservative. Recent decisions have been more balanced and not strictly down party lines. Overall, court packing isn't the only solution. Some argue that there are less disruptive ways to address concerns, like limiting justices' terms or implementing a mandatory retirement age. Court packing is seen by many as a quick fix, but it could mess with the court's integrity and independence. In the end, no matter where you stand on the political spectrum, interference with the court should give us all pause. Let's keep an eye on how this discussion unfolds in the coming days. I think this pretty much wraps up the video. As always, stay classy, stay cool, and don't be a fool.
Let's go! 'Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, baby.